and BGC flowing. We got Big Kev on the air. Dark Knight flying in here. It's Fire 716 and we rocking it. Hey.
Fire 716 Radio, your boy Big Frank. You're locked into Big Frank in the morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever this may find you in the world, in the universe. Locked in with me is my homegirl, Jay Cherie.
In the building.
And Daniel, the Dark Provider.
Somewhere. I'm out here.
He out here. Kevin, his acting career is going. He's not here. D Money Mac is let's keep it lifted in prayer. Physically not feeling well on today. But Jay Cherie, Daniel, how was your yesterday? Let's talk about it.
Yesterday was good.
Or your weekend as a whole.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Because come on.
Anyway, Friday was somewhat productive. Saturday was Saturday. And I did what I needed to do. Amen. I'm sure Frank is going to expound on that, but I did what I needed to do. And Sunday we had 2 amazing services, and the Big Frank did his good preaching. It was so good. They thought we was dropping people downstairs because the stomping, and Trey cried because he was like, that one stomp. Trey was like, what is going on? But no, it was 2 really amazing services. And then I had a great conversation with my sister about the remnant and the necessity of holiness and what that looks like.
Yeah.
And when you can glean from people and they teach you things on how to really regulate in this new level of ministry, it's amazing. So that was an amazing conversation. Then I got no sleep. So she's exhausted.
Well, I'll tell it, because Saturday the woman of God went to minister in the stead of our pastor, did an amazing job, and delivered. And I keep saying this word because you delivered very strong and passionately, and listen, okay. I'm gonna just say it right now. Covenant of Grace, the development of our elders and ministers, and to come time to execute the assignment. We just hit different.
Morning, India.
Good morning, India. Good to see you. Long time, no conversation. Hit different, and it was good being able to support her in that, and watch her execute well. And then I try to dip away, and on the other side of the wall was another service.
Listen,
and I was like, all right, I'm about to go, but I was like, no, go stop by the church. I said, go stop by. I said, okay. I went back in the building, went down the basement, came around the corner, and went back up and went to visit my pastor Yusef Morris's his church, and the Spirit of God was in there heavy, and God was moving. And you try not. And this is where I get checked sometimes, because I try not to. I'm not trying to exhort myself. God, He be speaking, but sit down and just okay. So I was sitting down and just and He come up to me and say, I know you come to receive.
Oh Lord,
what did you come to give? I said, God, but I told the Lord, if you open up the doorway, I'll go ahead and release the word. So I released the word of God. But then that led me to a sermon on Sunday. God was dealing with me about Jonah not executing his assignment and being asleep and going the opposite direction. Long story short is, I've been asking God, what you want me to do, and he pretty much said, I already told you what I want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
I just need you really to do it, and you kind of been lacking in your execution, and you don't necessarily need a feeling or a shaking or something crazy. Just operate in, and when that moment comes, I'm not going to make you look like a fool, because I know where your heart is.
Yeah.
So when I tell you something, say what I told you. So I ended up releasing a prophetic word in the house to a few individuals, and what I saw, and just the confirmation, just to reaffirm. They called me. It was like, oh, you did it. We just had a conversation with this person, yada, yada, yada. And then I talked to the drummer, and he was just like, yo, I was just having this conversation with my wife about this.
Yeah.
But it just shows that I really got you in the lane that I'm telling you to operate in. So just trust me in it. And then Sunday morning I preached about Jonah, but then it was a different story about Jonah, because it was about Jonah, but then it was really about the sailors.
Yeah.
I said, God,
Josh.
Lord, do what you want to do. So, and it was, and it hit home for me. Like it hit. And
it was definitely a hit word. Like and that's why I was saying, it was, if you saw yourself in it,
Yeah,
make the necessary adjustments.
for sure.
And for me, I saw myself. I was okay to be like, dude, you need to up the ante a little bit more. And
Yeah.
it's not that I've been really lackadaisical with God. It was just like there's more.
Absolutely.
And so that
Absolutely.
the word hit for me more. But then this is what I love about God. So the conversation we had earlier about the launch of the next situation.
No, valid, right.
So in the middle of service, like while Frank is doing his good stomping and preaching, the Lord was like, this is how you do it. And this is why I love in services when you're in the presence of God. It's not saying that when you're at home you don't get that.
Yeah.
But sometimes the launch or the elevation of a spiritual moment, it was like, start it this way, then do it this way, then do it. And it was like literally an answer from something a couple of hours ago. But being in that atmosphere, I got the answer I was looking for. So that was amazing.
That's why the Lord said, like, don't forsake your fellowship with because you can hear that same word at home and you be like, that maybe it's the thought. But when you're in the presence of the Lord, you know that the atmosphere is conducive for God to say what he already said. The reception of it is just different sometimes. So I get that. And Daniel, how was your weekend?
My weekend was
morning, Auntie Vivian.
It was regular
compared to y'all. I did.
I woke up. I mean,
what did I even do? I don't even remember. It rained on Saturday, so I got rained on when I went to Walmart. But that's.
Oh, shout out to Quita. Thank you for my strawberries. They were amazing.
Put me order in.
So like I did that. I don't think I really did anything really on Saturday. Kind of played with my nephew a little bit, and then Sunday, church. It was good. It was good. Bishop talked about being sealed and all the things that mean, and I was like, oh, okay, you want to get deep today? So that and then my wife was skating, so I had kids, and that's how my Sunday went. Now it's today, and I'm gonna see another one at this point. So like, it is what it is.
Absolutely. Listen, y'all, it's going down. Fire 716 Big Frank. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Going to pay some bills real quick. It's going down. It will Big Girl Chronicles when we get back on Fire 716 Big Frank in the morning. Good morning.
What's up, everybody? It's Kier here. Inject faith. What's up, everybody? It's Kier here. Inject faith, hope, love. I am so excited to announce that you can now catch me right here on Fire 716 Radio each and every Monday for Inject Mondays at 7 p.m. So go ahead and download the app and rock out with your girl. Again, that's each and every Monday at 7 p.m. Tune in and have a good time with us.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dante Miles, a.k.a. D-Belly, a.k.a. your city councilman. I'm here at Fire 716 Radio, and I'm asking you to tune in on Thursdays at 11 on our show, The Vault. We're going to be having some conversations that's super relevant, but very important. And sometimes it may be a little uncomfortable, but we're going to make sure that we get our voices out. Come tune in on Thursdays at 11 a.m. and make sure you download the Fire 716 app. See you then.
Coming to you.
And everything in between.
Holla at you, man.
Fire 716, your boy Big Frank. You're locked in the Big Frank in the morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're getting ready to get into a segment that I love so dearly, which is called Big Girl Chronicles. Hit that track, DJ.
No, watch out for the big girl.
Watch out for the big girl.
Big Girl Chronicles. Beautiful, intelligent, and graceful.
J3 is on you.
What's good, everybody? You already know what time it is. It is Big Girl Chronicles, and on this Getting Warmer Monday, because it was a little chilly when I walked out my door, but it's getting warmer. I really wanted to talk about it's going to be a combination of two things, and it's really talking about the steadiness of a process. So for y'all that don't know, I have not started video vlogging my weight loss. I've been failing you guys on TikTok and Facebook, but I started my process of my weight loss change, and it's also been connected to how I'm trying to grow and mature spiritually. And with this weight loss change, like it's because at first I was getting a little frustrated because I wasn't losing as much weight as I wanted to lose right away. Like last month it was 6.5 pounds. This month it was 4 pounds. And even though, I lost over like 10 or more pounds, I was just kind of like, dang, I just really wanted to lose more. But then I remember about the process that it took to get to Saturday's event and how I had to go through a lot to get there, how I had to kind of God stretched me in a lot of different ways, and how certain things came to frustrate me until I got to my assignment. And it really made me question, like, how much are we trying to rush a process that's supposed to be a slower process? Because I've lost massive weight in a short period of time, and clearly I've gained it all back. But I've also tried to rush to get to an assignment or do assignment, and it wasn't executed the best way because I was just trying to get it done. So how often do we try to rush a process, or we try to rush something that we're trying to accomplish just because we want it done and out the way, where there's a lesson to learn in the slow process. In this slow process of losing weight, I'm learning what my body responds to. I'm learning what foods work well for me, while what foods don't. And I'm monitoring what I'm taking in and what is unhealthy and what is not. And the same thing is going spiritually. What am I taking in spiritually that is unhealthy? But what am I also understanding, like, this may not be good for your spirit in a at this particular moment. It may not be bad. It just may not be good for your spirit at this moment. And to understand that the process, a true process, when you go through it, it is a refining situation. And to be refined is slow. And it takes a lot of detail. So in this edition of Big Girl Chronicles, I just want to admonish you that your process may be slow, but the end result is is what matters. Yes, I do have the intention of losing 100 pounds before my graduation next year. But even if I don't get there and it's to 85 pounds, it's still the proper process to getting where I need to get to be healthy mentally and spiritually. And even in this Christian walk, I have to understand that this process may look like it's slow, or it's even sometimes arduous, but to understand that it's the perfecting of an end result. So understand the process may be slow, but it's for your perfecting.
Come on.
Because you're beautiful.
Uh-huh.
You're intelligent.
Yeah.
And you're graceful.
Valid.
You're big people.
You big folks, huh? No, valid. I think that it goes to the text, talks about being anxious for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you talked about weight loss in that journey. But that's also even our finances sometimes. We waiting for the large lump sum sometimes. Oh, a large big hit, boom. In reality, if you really begin to slow down and cherish the deposits that are coming,
yeah,
you realize, wait a minute, I had more than I thought. Matter of fact, these small increments of deposits really add up to having more than enough.
Yeah.
But because I was so looking for the major, the big, the huge, that I've missed the moment. So, and one something that you said too was the proper process. I was in the Uber ride talking to a guy. He says, what you want to have is passive income. You want to have small increments consistently and let it flow.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you get wealth. And sometimes we're just looking to hit the numbers. Well, let me hit today. Let me go ahead and hit.
Let me find this mysterious scratch off.
The wicked is laid up for.
Listen,
me.
this ticket flew out their hand and found its way into my shoe. And
valid. Listen, it's going down this morning. When we get back, we're gonna get into the question of the day. Listen, tag a neighbor, tag a friend, and tell them to tap in, because we want to talk about who's sexually responsible
and the consequences.
And the consequences thereof.
Yes.
I said it real churchy, but you know what I'm talking about. We'll be back right here on 5716 Big Frank in the morning.
This is DMP Speaks coming to you. I am a board certified Christian counselor. I'm also a life coach. I am a family restoration specialist. I help build, rebuild, and grow your family. Maybe you're having some communication problems. Maybe you guys are just yelling and screaming and you guys are just not getting along. And if you want access to me for your 30-minute consultation call, follow me on all my social media platforms. TikTok, Facebook at DMP Speaks. And if you go to YouTube and Instagram, it's at I am DMP Speaks. Download Fire 716 and click the link.
One decision. This will make for one epic
movie.
I am Barnabas Matthews. I will be in Sector 716. And the COVID-19 virus will not take us out. We will conquer. We will win. They thought it had us, but it did not. And we will not lose or be defeated. I am Barnabas Matthews, and we will not be defeated.
You say it's what I needed and more, but your temple's
Fire 716, your boy Big Frank, locked in the Big Frank in the morning. Do me a favor, if you have not tagged somebody, anybody,
Everybody.
please. I don't know what's on. The rhythm was off, but you got to know what I meant. We're going to have a conversation. Jason, give us a little bit of background of how this conversation began, and then we'll go ahead into the question of the day.
So there was an ongoing debate happening online where it was saying, like, they was talking about who's responsible when it comes to protection for sex. So one group was saying that it was the responsibility of the woman because she's she gets pregnant, she's going to be left to take care of the child, while somebody else was saying that the responsibility is on the man because if they want to basically smash and not get somebody pregnant, then they need to be able to use protection and they need to be guarded at all times. And then the conversation transitioned to, well, if it's the woman's responsibility, she has the right to choose to keep it or not. But if it's the man's decision, or she can put her baby daddy on child support. But if it's the man's decision to, be the one in charge of preventing, I guess, pregnancy, that he has a say so in what happens if there's a whole pregnancy situation. So the question of the day kind of came from that. And then that started more of a debate because it was like, just because she get pregnant, that'll mean he has a right to tell her what to do with her body, or or then the guy was like, well, you don't have the right to abort my kid. It was just a lot. So that's how the question of the day came about. It's like, who is responsible when it comes to having sex outside of marriage? And and if a child comes into this earth, who really does have the choice of the future of the child?
Easily put, I think both have a responsibility in the matter, and simply put, but I think that when it comes down to, you gotta know who you're doing.
It's the truth.
You gotta have
got to know.
Because I think for the man to not want children and not do his due diligence to keep his release to himself, he has that responsibility. And also I think that the woman has the responsibility that if she does not want children, that she needs to also be doing her part.
Yeah,
you can't bank. It's like driving. I should be doing my safety precautions,
yeah,
in the hope that the other drivers are doing their safety precautions. But if you want to remember to run a stop line, run a stop sign and do extra stuff,
something gonna happen. There's gonna be a collision.
There's gonna be a collision. Therefore, there's an accident and there's consequences. But I think that this is a hard conversation. Not a hard conversation because one thing that we don't get the luxury of doing that. If we have a conversation, we don't want children, and so we both failed at this, and we're here. But you change your mind that you want to have the kid now. Then I don't. But we had this conversation already.
Yeah.
Now it's your body, and I was like, "Dad, I can't really opt out,
right?"
Because even though we had a conversation, I don't want children. Yeah, we got a little spicy this night. Was it was what Russian roulette.
It happened.
And oops, we here now.
Yeah,
I still don't want children. Now you feel like, oh my God, I don't want children, but then sometimes you change your mind. Now you want child, and I don't have the option to opt out, and it's kind of I don't want to say unfortunate, but it's just the double standard of life.
Yeah, like for me, like because I grew up, like I said, I grew up in I was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s, and so if you math and do your math, so it was like always taught to me, like boys will be boys, so the woman needs to be able to have her own like her own protection. So you need to be on birth control or the diaphragm, whatever you doing in your life to prevent that, because boys are gonna be boys. They're gonna want to have sex. And so for me, I never really bought into that concept because I'm like, no. But that's something that was instilled in people in my generation. Like it was the responsibility really fell on the woman. With current legislation, I'm not gonna say I am pro-choice, but I do believe a woman does have a right to make a choice. I also don't across the board support abortion unless certain circumstances, and people could come for me if they want to with that. But I really just kind of feel like if a baby is the result of two people being irresponsible, I don't really feel like the child should have to suffer for it. If the mother decides not to have it, that's her decision. But I don't feel like just because one person was using protection and one person wasn't, that's not the person that gets to make the decision on what happens.
Yeah, and like I said, this is it's hard for me because what happens when I want to be the father, but she doesn't want to be the mother,
right?
And it's like, dang.
Well, you oughta, it's you oughta look thing, right?
No, but you oughta look. It's because like you said, it is her body, it is her, and right, it is. But it's like, dang, you, and this is where we get you. You can take it from me,
yeah.
But if I don't, I'm a deadbeat.
Right. I was gonna say that. I think it's everybody. Like I think we all agree on the fact that it's everybody, both parties' responsibility as far as the sex goes. And I wanna be like, it's everybody's responsibility for the kid too. You know what I mean? But like, we don't live in that kind of world anymore. We don't live in that kind of world. And no matter how righteous and holy you want to live, you know what I mean? As the Bible say, follow the rules of the land that you're at. So like, I think at the end of the day, like as far as having a child, it's always gonna be it's always gonna be her choice.
Yeah, no, for
sure. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But then also at the same time, if for a guy, it's always going to be his choice if he's going to help you raise the child.
Now, then you bring up another point.
And then I think that is really where the argument really is.
Yeah.
Because like you said, if you don't want to, you're a deadbeat. But but I didn't have a decision in the matter if it happened or not. Yeah. After we both did something stupid. Mm-hmm. I didn't have a say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then on the end, with women is, well, no, you didn't, but like you have a say now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel, but then the concept of right and wrong comes is like, well, I feel like you chose wrong. But it's like, but I didn't have a say in general. So then as a guy, you might not see it as right or wrong because you didn't have a chance beforehand, now you do now. And because now I have this decision, I'm gonna choose the decision I would have made if I had a choice before. And that's just not to have it at all or have to deal with a baby at all.
Yeah.
Can you read the comment? Because it's
I read it, but it's you got it.
Oh, that's long.
That's long. I didn't know where he was going, but
Ooh, hold on. That's it. Okay.
Go ahead. You got it.
Okay, I'm gonna try. I really, Demetrius said, I really believe we need to stop trying to exist in their Americanship. Okay. They have gave us freedoms, and if we really look into it, the fact is what is the abbreviation for domination? DOM. Add that to free, they give us free domination. This world is not built for the design of our people to be prosperous. Where I'm at? Okay, period. It is designed for their people and their riches to stay within their communities. Why do you guys want to work with people who will not excite a world I guess he meant accept the world where you are prosperous, and that's where it get cut off for me.
There's more coming.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
I was gonna say,
I think that let me be the preacher. I think that the world is not. We understand the concept of what America is and how it's built, and the disparities that comes with this process. And I think that for every person, this is why I think it's important to know who you're talking to in a relationship, because you need to understand why somebody wouldn't want to bring a child into this world, while they may not want to. It's not designed for you to prosper, whatever the case may be. But long story short, is like Daniel, you said, as a woman, you know the consequences of not holding a responsibility in sex.
Mm-hmm.
The man knows the responsibilities that come with not holding his responsibility in sex. Now I just go back to the fact that don't depend on me to just be like, hey, you got it, and I shouldn't depend on you that you got it.
Yeah.
You know, I come into this thing, you know, fun time, whatever. I need to be mature and responsible. That I need to protect myself if I'm not ready for children.
Then this is where it's funny because like you like because you know you be in church, nobody talk about it or whatever. You know what I mean? So like my dad used to be like, look, you need to have condoms in the car. And this before I even was thinking about touching a woman. Like, you need to have condoms in the car. He was like, you don't mess with no chick that don't have no condoms at her house. And I was like, all right.
Because you just want to take that. And I get that for a woman, you know, protection is easier for us.
Right, because we just gotta
cover up.
Right.
Yeah.
Put your jacket on.
They sold that though at Walgreens. Right.
Exactly. And then not only that, and it's an outside situation where when a woman gets into
it's a whole process.
And when I say protection, I'm not just talking about from STDs, but just from pregnancy.
Yeah.
It's a chemical adjustment. It's a
they got a
pill,
diaphragm. They got a
IUD,
and people got pregnant with an IUD.
Yeah,
like
you should have been with GUS.
I mean, I really, you know, like I said, with the whole baby situation, I guess because it's more of a rare occasion where you hear a guy say, even if you don't want it, I do. Yeah. It's very rare. So I don't know if the I'll carry it and you keep it situation conversation happens more, because in all the years that I have been on this earth and I've dated, I've never heard like a guy be like, if you ever got. Now I'm not saying it doesn't exist.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's more a rare situation. Is like, oh, I want the kids, so if you just carry it, I'll take it. Like,
I don't talk about it. That's why.
Yeah,
right. It's not talked about. Yeah, I think that because, like I said, for the few that I know, we still want legacy. You know, maybe it was a fun night, and maybe not necessarily with you, but you know, we got a different kind of outlet. But because it happened, I would love to be able to have my namesake. To be able to invest in, especially if I am financially in a place to do so.
Right.
Like, oh hey, you know. But then it's like, you know, dang. Like for Uber story. Like last night, this young lady just got caught. She was just cheating on her boyfriend, and it's like, dag, the risk you take, you know. And she just happened to expose the fact that, you know, we was doing it, but you know, they was just out here raw dog. And last week she was on the phone with her girlfriend in the backseat. I was being nosy, but it's like that responsibility of protection is on both of you all.
Yeah.
And this is something that you gotta just take. And I think that conversation needs to be had more. Who you sleeping with? Who you talking to? And what is, like, if this happens, what's your ball?
Yeah.
Right. And I have a closet full of B plans.
That's why I think it's also
plan
important.
B doesn't always work.
Oh no. I think it's I think it's important. I think it's very important to have those conversations. To have those also uncomfortable conversations with your children.
No, for sure.
And then like to have friends around you that's gonna hold you accountable for your actions.
No, yeah.
I think that's also very important. I think I had that
holding her accountable.
I think I had that conversation with Jonathan the other day about having people accountable. Oh yeah, it was on the show. Watch the last Popular show. Anyway, talked about, about having people to be accountable for your actions, to give you responsibility for the actions that you do.
Yeah.
That definitely. And and tell your kids the truth. Like, and some stuff seems scary.
Yeah.
And sometimes, people be like, oh, you're supposed to try to scare your kids or whatever. But like a lot of stuff, it's not that nobody trying to be scary. It's a scary thing.
Yeah.
It is.
No valid.
Getting pregnant at a young age is a scary thing. Especially when you ain't got nothing, and if your parents is like, "Mine, get out my house."
No valid. That's
yeah, because I didn't get the sit down talk.
Yeah,
I found out what I found out through HBO after hours.
Yeah, no,
like it was just like, because my dad worked nights.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm gonna just watch TV, and it went from like regular shows to
movies
to that. And so that's how that's how I found out about it. And then later on in life, me and Peaches had a conversation,
Yeah.
but I didn't have the normal, this is how you protect yourself.
No,
this is what, like, I didn't have that.
No.
I know that taking birth control for a long period of time, it's not good for your body. But no one tells you that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That
you have to be disciplined in that, because if you don't take it on time,
right? But like continual use of it it can lower your chances to get pregnant later. But your doctor ain't gonna tell you. Your mama don't know, because she got pregnant when she got pregnant with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the reason to use birth control no more, because I got one now. So
yeah,
you know what I mean? So
yeah, and I think that is something that I would and I'll say this, and outside of that, somebody should be able to, not just the schools, because they're out of control, but talk to your children about that, because like I said, culturally we don't really have that
conversation.
The conversation, it's always an experience, or it's always something that we talk about after you've been scared, or after it's been something, or after we found out. But nobody taught me how to handle the feeling of the need of being horny. Nobody told me what to respond when you want to jump up. I'm out here just experimenting, figuring stuff out, but nobody's having a conversation about that, and how to do that responsibly.
Or how black people too, they tell you a story like, man, I ain't had you until I was like 25, bro. And and that's their version of telling you don't advocate until you say
no valid. Now listen, y'all, it's going down this morning. Make sure you guys tap into Juneteenth is coming up. So many celebrations happening across Western New York. Niagara Falls has two. Actually, I got some clarity. Let me. Well, I've been dogging the city so aggressively. On Saturday, the NAC is having a program. On Niagara Arts and Cultural Center is having a food, vendors, music, and those things. And then on Monday, they're having the flag raising, the parade, and because it's a national holiday now. So So that Monday they're doing everything. So you can still do the one on Saturday here in Niagara Falls and still honor one in Buffalo as well. and then also support on Monday. So there's a few things that are going on. So I need to figure out my details on how the radio station was supposed to do their part. But there's so much going on in my world. I just be like, Jesus, you got me.
Yeah.
Listen, it's going down. When we get back, we get into church mess right here on 5716 Big Frank in the morning. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Hello, guys. This is Fatima from Fatima Fridays, and I have.
What's up, everybody? It's Kier here, Inject Faith, Hope, Love. I am so excited to announce that you can now catch me right here on Fire 716 Radio each and every Monday for Inject Mondays at 7 p.m. So go ahead and download the app and rock out with your girl. Again, that's each and every Monday at 7 p.m. Tune in and have a good time with us.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dante Miles, a.k.a. D-Belly, a.k.a. your city councilman. I'm here at Fire 716 Radio, and I'm asking you to tune in on Thursdays at 11 on our show, The Vault. We're going to be having some conversations that's super relevant, but very important. And sometimes it may be a little uncomfortable, but we're going to make sure that we get our voices out. Come tune in on Thursdays at 11 a.m. and make sure you download the Fire 716 app. See you then.
It's killing us.
TQ. I am. The Queen I Am with Felicia Gaddis. Her story, her experience, her wisdom. Tune in every Friday at 1 p.m. at Fire 716 Radio. TQ I Am inspires, uplift, and transform. Tune in every Friday at 1 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok.
10 p.m. Tune in and have a good time with us.
Big Frank, you're locked into Big Frank in the morning. You want to get into church mess? I'm looking at my hair angles. Fire 716 is going down. Church mess. Jay Cherie, what we got for the church mess?
So
The disappointment in her voice.
it's really disappointing. So I'm trying to see if it's safe to play this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because so the church tried to say that he said pushing. That's not what it sounded like he said.
No, let's play that
during the service. So
y'all listen to this.
Nope, that's not the right one. Nope, that's
that's
that's the other one. Hold on one second. Is it this? Nope. Okay. Okay. So apparently, I got a bunch of them.
It's the one who was singing praise and worship.
It was the one where he was like, "Sometimes you just need some," and it sounded like he said the P word.
Oh.
But they were trying to go back and say that he said sometimes you need some pushing, but it doesn't sound the same. And I thought I tagged it in my because I've been holding on to
that is hilarious.
Yeah,
that is not. That is hilarious.
That's not what I heard. Hold on, because I know it's in one of the videos I had.
The young girls who want to make life with pussy. Your pussy will perish with you.
Yeah.
Now I heard
none of that say pushing.
No. So
this is a different video.
That one said translated.
Yeah.
That
your joint will perish.
Your vaginal canal is going to hell with you. Like,
I think it's in our inbox.
It's ridiculous. I just feel like the church is just out of control. Out of control. I'm like,
once again, we are side swiping real education for your feelings.
Whoa. Okay, because I'm pretty sure I sent it in the group chat.
That's
but yeah, he was just like, sometimes you need some, and it sounded like he said the P word.
P word. And he said it a couple times. Like, so it wasn't like, oh, oops, no.
But yeah, the last one I just played was the guy basically condemning women, saying that if they out here being loose, that their lady parts are gonna roast with them.
Yeah.
Which it's not totally a lie.
It's not totally a lie, but at the same time,
It's kind of raggedy.
Yeah. And then this next one, his name is Pastor Toby. He interrupts the choir because he says the song was boring him to death. So.
Okay, when they are ready. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Please. Livingstone is amazing, but that song was boring me to death, so I had to come up, man. That's long.
Yeah, how y'all be in the
you were in the middle.
How you in the middle of worship?
Like,
right in the middle of worship.
Yeah.
Just tell somebody, all right, y'all starting to bore me to death. I'm just gonna start preaching.
No, valid. Yeah. That's not it.
And then the last video, because I have a bunch of them saved, but the last one, you have to be careful when you are executing certain assignments to stop being overly charismatic when you're doing it, because this lady was singing, throwing a fit, and fell off the stage in the middle of her doing the song. And then it was just like, oh, the spirit. No, that wasn't the spirit. It wasn't the spirit. What happened was you was being extra, and God was like, say less. And because she was like, boom. And then, like, all you see her is like leaning to the side.
Y'all gonna stop playing with God. Y'all gonna stop playing with God. Now, I am one for the charismatic movement. I get it. It's a great orator. What y'all doing now is ridiculous. And what y'all doing in the pulpit is out of control. The vocabulary words that you're choosing to use in the kingdom of God. You
put your leg over the sacred desk while you preaching. Like,
preaching so good. And when he put his leg up, you just what you doing?
And the pastor moved his leg and gave him this look like, yeah, you're not coming back. like it's to me, to even though we're presenting it in a funny way, it really is disrespectful to the sacred desk, to the occupation. And sitting in these offices and stuff like that. But you just gotta stop being extra, because like God will let you fall and be embarrassed. And there's a bunch of videos I have of people just falling and being embarrassed because y'all doing the most.
Still not funnier than the one with the ladies. Like, all the things you gave up for these niggas.
Oh yeah.
That's the best one.
Like, it's just, and for me, like looking into finding church mess, the fact that there's a plethora, it's
a whole page on Facebook.
Like, all I gotta put in the TikTok search is church messiness, and videos just come up, like pages of videos. It really is to the point that, even with this, because I heard somebody be like, well, your guys are highlighting it, it's making mockery. No, it's exposing the craziness
listen to me
that's going on in the church, and we're just addressing it in a funny way.
If what does it mean to mock? I'm not gonna preach it, but don't do it. Okay, if you don't do it, we don't see it. Yeah?
Right.
If you don't execute it, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And it's different from taking a snippet of a thing,
right,
and creating some false content.
Right.
You said this.
Right.
You did this.
Right.
Brian Karn keeps throwing towels at people.
Doing whatever he wants.
He just keeps doing what he wants. And it really is like I said, with church mess, it is very funny, but at the same time, this is just stuff that you do not need to be doing. And just know that if you're doing it locally, we probably know about it. And you might want to watch yourself, because I just found out another person that moved to another location and got a whole nother wife. And I'm like, bro, this is number 3. What is going on? Like, seriously, it is like I said, it's like, dude, it's really like to the point that there is a standard when it comes to this call. But if you out here acting a fool,
don't get mad when you get caught on the carpet.
Don't get mad. Like,
under that standard.
No, valid. Listen,
yeah.
Y'all, it's going down this morning, and if you don't want no, send us church mess. Feel free to tag Fire 716 Radio. Anything that you see.
If you locally tag your church, we will try our hardest to remain anonymous to your church.
But if you respond to it, only a hit dog.
Not in the news.
When we get back, we get into some hot topics right here on Fire 716. Big Frank in the morning. We'll be right back in 3 minutes.
This is DMP Speaks coming to you. I am a board certified Christian counselor. I'm also a life coach. I am a family restoration specialist. I help build, rebuild, and grow your family. Maybe you're having some communication problems. Maybe you guys are just yelling and screaming and you guys are just not getting along. And if you want access to me for your 30-minute consultation call, follow me on all my social media platforms. TikTok, Facebook at DMP Speaks. And if you go to YouTube and Instagram, it's at I am DMP Speaks. Download Fire 716 and click the link.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dante Miles, aka D Belly, aka your city councilman. I'm here at Fire 716 Radio, and I'm asking you to tune in on Thursdays at 11 on our show, The Vault. We're going to be having some conversations that's super relevant, but very important. And sometimes it may be a little uncomfortable, but we're going to make sure that we get our voices out. Come tune in on Thursdays at 11 a.m. and make sure you download the Fire 716 app. See you then.
What's up, everybody? It's Kier here, Inject Faith Hope Love. I am so excited to announce that you can now catch me right here on Fire 716 Radio each and every Monday for Inject Mondays at 7 p.m. So go ahead and download the app and rock out with your girl. Again, that's each and every Monday at 7 p.m. Tune in and have a good time with us.
716, your boy Big Frank. Good morning, Shadek. I see you. Good morning, TT. I see you. Good morning. All those tapped in. Good morning. Demetrius, good morning yet again. I just call out your names real quick because I feel like y'all are important to me. John, India, good morning. Good morning. Diaja, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Grand rising to those who grand rise.
Those who grand rise. Somebody asked the question, oh, was it you, Daniel? Those who grand rise, how did they go to sleep? How did they say good night? Like dissension. I don't know what's
You rise grandly, do you go to sleep?
Okay.
You descend gracefully.
Because, and I don't knock those who say it, and I respect those, but I still don't get
the definitions are not the same.
The definition isn't the same. But if your mindset is just stuck in morning, you know, you're gonna be mourning in the morning. Okay, like come on,
it's giving Umar vibes.
Lucky, listen, I had my hair picked out this morning, and I had to pick in it. I was about to get
I only think about it when because undercover brother.
Go on means the absence of color.
My brother. That's everything.
First thing in the morning, just Dave Chappelle did that role excellently.
Graceful descending.
Yeah. But do you tell them that before you descend?
No, but graceful descending tonight.
Okay.
I'm using that. Watch.
I'm gracefully descending tonight.
Into this rest.
No, I ain't gonna get a hot topic. We got going on.
So Jay-Z and Beyonce purchased their $200 million Malibu pad new house, and it's causing an uproar because they paid it in cash. Jay-Z and Beyonce are billionaires. I don't understand why the world is feeling some kind of way because they pay for a $200 million house in cash.
Because they don't want to pay interest on that.
Like to me, even though I'm not a biggest fan for both of them, if I'm able to pay a $200 million house in cash,
throwing it at it,
I'm gonna go on to do that.
And you gotta understand too that you have to think this is bigger than you all.
Right.
We have children, and I think I heard this because I think TJ said this. That I don't know their lifestyle. I'm not comparing them, but it's like, hey, I don't want to have to deal with the banks. It's going up. Missing things about the change. I want to know that if something happened to us,
we
good.
Right.
This is taken care of. This is paid for. Get some taxes.
I'm gonna pay the house off. Then I'm gonna put the house in the trust. So
come on.
The kids can have it.
Because Blue Ivy out here making her own money anyway.
She's making money now.
Huh?
She's making money now.
She is. But I don't see like people made a big deal of it because they're like, oh, they paid it in cash. They had it in cash.
They had it. You don't have it.
Nobody uses He is magic. He is all my dreams come true. He is my world. He and I are both doing great. I'm soaking up every second and still can't believe this. He is real and he is mine. I'm so grateful. Phew, happy tears.
That for those who missed that was Jessie J had a baby.
Jessie J had a baby.
That's gonna be a song. Jessie J.
You know the whole bang bang into the room. Jessie J.
Oh, bang bang.
That's Jessie J. For those who don't know,
Jesse Jackson had a little baby on the side.
no, Jessie already had some babies. It's just this next hot topic I don't agree with wholeheartedly, but Aaliyah was officially inducted into the R&B Hall of Fame. The ceremony will be held on September 24th, 2023 in Aaliyah's hometown of Detroit, Michigan. I don't feel like her body of work gave her Hall of Fame status.
She survived R. Kelly.
No, she didn't.
But she didn't, though.
No, she didn't.
And that's why her self-named album was all about R. Kelly.
But I guess people just are more valuable at death points. And
yeah, I guess. But how many other people is dead already that you could have put in the Hall of Fame that had done more than Aaliyah had did? Like, how many albums she got? Like 3?
Well, the people
she had 3 albums.
The people love her. Okay, the people are in love with.
No, people aren't in love with her. People idolize her because they don't
know her.
They don't know her.
They look at her story as a story of survival,
right?
And survival. She was young and she went through all this, but she still made it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like I said, I do like some of Aaliyah's music. I'm not knocking her for it, but I kind of feel like there's some alive people who deserve to be in the R&B Hall of Fame.
I don't want to say this.
Now, if they would have gave her an honorable, like put her in along with other people,
yeah,
fine. You know what I mean? But like to be like, if I'm only putting one person a year in, just the one person I put in.
Like really, what has she done? And I'm not gonna knock you. You haunt me if you want to, but but yeah. So I don't know why. Like, so why did they? Why did they choose?
She can't haunt you. To haunt you and not haunt R. Kelly be wrong.
So the all-time NFL great running backs and social activist Jim Brown died at the age of 87.
Jim Brown.
Yeah, yes.
Jim Brown. Put your mouth, Jim
Brown. Yeah. So
not as if he wasn't old, but still,
this one kind of hurt though. Like, because 2023 has taken some.
He had 2 albums.
Biggie had 2 albums, but he also had greater stardom than Aaliyah did.
At its death or in the game?
That's true. And then
in the game.
And then technically, if you want to be technical about it, he died in the middle of East Coast, West Coast violence. So
yeah,
it's like,
I think East West Coast has a major role in that.
Right. So like,
I got you.
You know,
and
then you think about it, hip hop wasn't a whole lot of hip hop by that time. Hip hop only been alive for like 20 years.
Yeah.
So it's like, dang, that's a big event for hip hop. Like, no, in 100 years, if God don't take it nobody by then, they might be like, man, Biggie wasn't nobody, bro. Who was Biggie? He only got 2 albums. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is further now.
It's the debate is challenging just because they said like, okay, Aaliyah's life was cut short, and if she was still here longer, she may have had more success.
You can't give somebody on potential they could have done better.
Well, I don't know. I can agree to that only because of the people that was in her corner before she died. Because she had Missy, and she had Timberland.
Oh yeah,
and
that's enough.
That's enough.
That's enough. That's enough.
That's enough.
Because Missy is still putting
and Missy is killing it out here.
Right now,
like I'm happy that they are giving Missy her flowers while she is still alive, because she changed and I'm not comparing the two, but her and Michael Jackson changed the dynamics of music videos. And the fact that she was set apart so much, like Missy is up there with a lot of the greatest male rappers. And that's why verses, I need you guys to stop coming up with these trash verses and just put Busta Rhymes against Missy and let it happen. Like,
I think that would be fun. That wouldn't even be like a fight thing. They'd just be, because they'd start playing joints with both of them in it.
Right, like,
yeah, my verse is better than hers.
This verses needs to happen.
It'd be a fun verse.
It would be a fun verse.
Because they was like, we need suggestions. I've been suggesting this for the last year, and nobody's listening. And other people have suggested this. Versus, get it together. Swiss Beats, you need to just go on and let that happen. But yeah, that's what I have as far as hot topics and things like that. You know, congratulations posthumously to Aaliyah for going into the.
You still got there, girl.
To the Hall of Fame.
Can't take your trophy away.
Right. So, cause you know, like I said, her story is a little bit more tragic because people came down on R. Kelly, and I'm not against giving R. Kelly his talking about what R. Kelly did, but they failed to report about how her uncle Benny, is it Hankerson?
Not Benny Hinn.
No, Benny Hankerson and her parents really did have to do a lot with how R. Kelly got access to her, and then how her uncle lied about his disconnection with R. Kelly after the whole marriage situation, where he was still connected with R. Kelly with music and getting money off of him. And so that a lot of people failed her. It wasn't just R. Kelly. Right. And unfortunately for her, she won't have the justice for it.
How did she pass away?
Plane crash. But she had a dream. That's the crazy part. She said she had a dream where she was laying in a swamp with snakes around her. And if you look at the last video she did, she was in a swamp with snakes around her. So she thought that was that. And when they found her body, it was in a swamp with snakes around.
Won't God give you a sign? We lost the camera and the audio. What is going on with this? What is happening here? Hit the camera at the bottom. Oh my God! The whole system just departed. My God,
it's Aaliyah. She's mad. Y'all talking about me? I'ma shut everything down.
All right, y'all. We be back.
It's fire. What's up, everybody? It's Kier here, Inject Faith, Hope, Love. I am so excited to announce that you can now catch me right here on Fire 716 Radio each and every Monday for Inject Mondays at 7 p.m. So go ahead and download the app and rock out with your girl. Again, that's each and every Monday at 7 p.m. Tune in and have a good time with us.
Fire 716. Good morning. I don't know what was happening with somebody got offended somewhere because I feel like Aaliyah just jumped in the screen. Like, y'all stop talking about me. Yes, no,
y'all just mad because y'all not getting awards. A Buffalo woman facing murder charges from a homicide that actually happened on November 1st, 2021 on Highgate Avenue. Harris is accused of intentionally killing Jones. What's the first name? Lord. Okay. The district attorney's office said Erie County Medical Examiner officer determined that Jones died of a gunshot wound to the chest and ruled her death a homicide. And so this person is Harris. I'm looking for the name, the first name. It's not giving it to me. Harris pleaded guilty to 2 counts of criminal possession of a firearm, where she was sentenced to 5 years probation on the charge in January, and now she is facing 25 years to life in prison if she's convicted of a murder charge. So she actually is going for two charges right now. That's what it is. Harris killed her 90-year-old grandmother, Catherine Jones. That was on Highgate. So that's who. It was on Highgate. Yes. Nope. Highgate. So the charges are just being brought up from November 2021.
Wow.
And it was a 90-year-old
So
grandmother.
behind.
She said when officers arrived, Harris was at the front door and they saw her grandmother, 90-year-old Catherine Jones, on the floor in the living room.
How you kill your granny though?
Yeah, her name is Jamian Harris.
How you kill your granny?
That's crazy.
That's
That's
crazy.
wild.
I never
So-
killed my granny.
I mean, there was another story too, but I can't find it right
Never killed my
because I'm
granny.
failing as a person.
I want to give a shout out though to all those who did graduate.
Oh yeah, this week.
Last week.
Hannah Bananas.
Graduated.
Yeah, a whole bunch of
Zaire,
people.
he was an intern here for a brief moment.
A whole bunch of people graduated. Candace Ernai graduated.
That was sweet.
Okay, shout out to Candace.
People get-
Everybody. Alexis graduated.
All those are graduated.
All these kids.
All these
that used to be kids graduated. It's crazy.
all these graduates graduating.
You know what I'm saying? All these graduates graduated.
Honestly, I was encouraged to see my timeline full of graduations. It's Black excellence.
Oh, for sure.
But
for sure.
to know some of the stories of some of these young people that made it to graduation was very inspiring. Honey Boo Boo graduated, you know.
Dang, come on, honey. Good for you.
Honey Boo Boo graduated high school.
Get your graduation on.
So, you know, we
People
just
is
out
doing
there.
it different right now. Education is what people are going for.
Yeah.
Brother, you know, I might look at. I'm gonna look at somebody's school.
Yeah, I thought about
Right,
it too. I
right.
thought about going back to school. I was like,
It is not for the faint of heart. Oh, and locally now that it's actually put out there with Madai closing, it's a lot going on with these universities right now in the trying to get the right teach out programs to connect students with, but it's also the dynamic of the news. People from the school and professors now are doing interviews with the news, where one professor who has been there for 21 years outed a lot of people in an interview. Yes, and the Student Government Association president produced paperwork to the news for the board of trustees and some things that they did. And how they had a no confidence, they produced no confidence paperwork on them, basically saying like, we don't support this board. We've been asking for the immediate resignation of all these people for this long, and gave it to the news. Woman,
she was out there trifling.
listen, I'm not gonna call her woman of God because I don't know your relationship with Jesus, but woman of color. You do that kind of stuff after you get accepted into a new institution,
Right? Get you a job.
Now, why are you looking for a new school to go
But,
to?
you know, colleges is struggling across the board. Like,
They need people. They're not gonna turn her away.
I think Houghton University is about to close. The one on the school's closing on Genesee. I think they got one more class they're gonna go ahead and go through. I think. It's just crazy.
This is crazy. So just use wisdom when you're exposing things. Because she was like, and I'm still looking for a school now, ma'am. You
not going
you ain't going nowhere. Like you sat on the news, did a whole interview and produced paperwork, and you're a person of color.
She might get a job at TMZ.
Like I was like, the colleges may not want to take you now because you out here producing paperwork.
There's an annual bike drive going down. I believe it's going to be actually the 24th at the Packer Community Center. They're riding bikes, having a good time. So make sure you guys be a part of that. The Juneteenth is doing their jump off on June 19th here in Niagara Falls. Concert, Legends Park. Basketball tournament. I need to get into Juneteenth. I need to stop playing and procrastinating. But we'll get there soon enough. Fire 716. We'll get back with our final thought right here on Fire 716. Big Frank in the morning.
One decision. This will make for one epic movie.
I am Barnabas Matthews. I will be accepted 716 and the COVID-19 virus will not take us out. We will conquer. We will win. They thought it had us, but it did not. And we will not lose or be defeated. I am for all of this, Matthew, and we will not be defeated.
This is DMP Speaks coming to you. I am a board certified Christian counselor. I'm also a life coach. I am a family restoration specialist. I help build, rebuild, and grow your family. Maybe you're having some communication problems. Maybe you guys are just yelling and screaming and you guys are just not getting along. And if you want access to me for your 30-minute consultation call, follow me on all my social media platforms. TikTok, Facebook at DMP Speaks. And if you go to YouTube and Instagram, it's at I am DMP Speaks. Download Fire 716 and click the link.
Get ready to get into our final thought. Jay Cherie, what you got for the people, preacher?
I would say my final thought is embrace your authentic self and be okay with it. I was just having conversation with some people yesterday after service, and they was like, I'm just different, and I act different, and I'm not like everybody else. And I was like, but you're not meant to be like everybody else. Nobody wants a copyright like a copy version of somebody else. So if you are different, embrace that and be okay with that, because God's going to use you in that avenue, and people are looking for different. They're not looking for average. So embrace your uniqueness and understand your uniqueness is what's necessary on earth.
Daniel?
My final thought is let's get rid of the phrase, this is how I am. Nobody want to deal with this is just how I am kind of person. If you ain't growing and you ain't changing, if you wrong, but if you wrong, you don't want to change, just say you don't want to change. So then we all can leave you alone. You could be wrong by yourself. Nobody want to deal with this is how I am kind of person. It's 2023. We are growing, we are changing, and hopefully we can do it as together as possibly can. But if you don't want to be a part of that, just say you don't want to be a part of it.
In the words of the great preacher Frank Henley, toss him off the boat.
Toss him off.
You had to be there, but toss him off the boat.
When I was in that corner, there was like, tell him, jump ship or be thrown. Dang. The word of wisdom that I have is, it goes along with what everybody has said. Part of my voice and is changing.
Go to that.
Don't be afraid to be your authentic self, as Jay Cherie said. But as Daniel was talking, don't be afraid to evolve and to change and to make those adjustments required. But now is not the time for you to be held up by how I want to say this, a previous idea of who you used to be. Things are changing. You have the right to change. You can evolve. And even though it may not be something that you don't do or this is who you are, you may need to make some adjustments about yourself. And don't restrict yourself because you've been accepted for what you've been, because there's a new day dawning. For those who say good morning. Good new day dawning. Whatever. Gotcha. A new day coming, and sometimes you have to accept that the presentation that you gave before isn't the presentation that you're required to give now. And you can change, and that's okay. Whoever you lose, you lose. Whatever you gain, you gain. But do it, make it happen. I'll holler at y'all, your boy Big Frank. We'll be back on Wednesday right here on 5716 Big Frank in the morning. I'll holler.